everyone, this is Cynthia from Stuidozo. Welcome to our one and only American and British English accent breakdown. Okay, let's clear up a few things first. When I'm talking about the American accent, I will be referring to the general American accent, or the one that is spoken by majority of the people living in America. Meanwhile, when I'm talking about the British accent, I will be referring to the received pronunciation, or the traditional English, more widely known as the Queen's English. Let's get to it. So the first thing we will be talking about is the shape. And what I mean by the shape here is the shape of the mouth. When you're using the American accent, your mouth will appear more stretched and open. This will make you sound louder and more high-pitched. Meanwhile, when you use the British accent, your mouth will appear more round, and in turn, you will have a deeper voice and a quieter sound. So let's see an example of how they're both different. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Next, we will talk about intonation. The British intonation is known to be a bit more sing-song, meaning it sounds like a song. In a short amount of time, or just in one sentence, their voices can go up very high and it can also go down very low. Meanwhile, the American intonation is known to be a bit more flat. Let's look at these two clips for the examples.
Few nights into Brown, this guy just being like, I like you, you're great, let's go out on a date, let's do it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what just happened?
Yeah. When did Elizabeth Olsen start acting? I think my first professional job was when I was really young, but I didn't really start acting then, I don't think. I would say my sophomore year of college when I started understudying.
The third thing we'll be talking about today is the consonant sounds. When comparing the American English and the British English, you will notice two consonant sounds that sound very different from each other. And these are the R sounds and the T sounds. Let's talk about them one by one. In the American accents, the R's become rhotic, meaning that they are pronounced in every word. The way to make this rhotic R sound is to not tap the ceiling of your mouth, or to just flip your tongue a little bit before it touches the roof. If you do that, you should be able to make this sound. R, R. As you will be able to hear, the R sound is definitely present in words such as car, rocket, litter, present. On the other hand, if you use a British accent, then the R will become non-rhotic, meaning that if it's not before a vowel, and if it's directly after a vowel, then it will not be pronounced. It will follow the vowel before it and turn into a long vowel. The non-rhotic R is present in words such as book, father, bed, and paw. Now let's move on to the T sound. The British accent uses the true T, meaning that the T is pronounced by having the tip of your tongue touch your teeth. You will be able to make this sound, T, T. Meanwhile, in American English, the T tends to turn into a D, and you make this sound by shifting the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. D, D. To clearly hear the difference between the two T's, I will pronounce the words in the example with the American English accent first, and then the British English accent. Tomato, tomato, little, little, kitty, kitty. The last thing we'll be talking about is vowels. Specifically, we will be talking about three types of vowel sounds. The A sound, the A sound, and the O sound. Let's talk about the A vowel sound first. It is present in words such as up, alter, and but. When you're using the British accent, pronouncing the ah sound would require your mouth to be a little bit more open. Meanwhile, when you're using the American accent, then your mouth doesn't have to be as open as the British accent. So let's take a look at an example. Up, alter, but. Up, alter, and but. Next, we have the ah sound. I'll repeat that again. It's the ah sound. Now, this sound is a little bit more tricky. So some say it's the sound that you get between the ah and the ah. If you combine them together, it will become ah. Now, this sound is a little bit different when pronounced in a British accent and in an American accent. So in the British accent, the ah sound would sound like the one I've said repeatedly before, ah. But in some cases, Americans would use this vowel more like an E. So it's eh, eh. Just like before, I will read these example words in British English first and then in American English. Cat, matter, flat. Cat, matter, flat. Last but not least, we have the O vowel. Now, this vowel is one of the biggest difference between the British English and the American English. Due to the shape of the mouth, the O vowel in British English would sound quite similar to the Indonesian O, and this is O. Meanwhile, the wide and spreaded shape of the American accent will make this O sound more like an A. Let's look at these last three words. Not, caught, borrow. Not, caught, borrow. All right, guys, that's all we have today. Thank you so much for joining me in this accent breakdown video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that it'll help you in your English learning endeavors. Bye-bye.